by an X. This is the X right in the center. So basically, if you hit anywhere in this circle right here, or if your puncture wound actually touches the edge of the line, as long as some part of the line is being touched by the puncture wound, then we count that as an X, right? So you don't have to hit the arrow right in the center of the circle to actually get the point, as long as the hole touches the line, right? So I'll make a hole right there. So let's pretend that this is the hole that your arrow made. As long as some part of this line right here is being touched by that hole, then we actually count it, we round up basically. So your score is going to be whatever's in the center of that line, right? So let's say I shot an arrow and it landed right here like that. So this would be a 9, right? So we have X, 10, 9, and this is 8, right? So as you can see, most of the hole is in the 8, but since the hole is touching the line of the 9, then we're going to count that as a 9, right? So we have X, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and it goes all the way until 1 at the very end. So this is 1 right here, this is 2, this is 3. So if your arrow lands out here, this is a 0. So this is going to be a 0. If your arrow lands right here on the edge, but let's say the hole is touching the line. So in this case, the hole is touching the line, so that would be counted as a 1. Okay, so I just wanted to go over a couple of things I didn't mention in the last video. And the main thing is whenever you are taking your arrows out of the target, you want to make sure every time you do that, you make an X mark or a plus symbol around the hole. And the reason why you want to do that is because sometimes the arrows will hit the target and they'll bounce off. And the way we're able to locate where the arrow hit is by finding the hole on the target that doesn't have a plus symbol or a cross around it. So basically, whenever you take your arrows out, make sure you're marking your holes with the X symbol, so that we can keep track of all of the holes in the target, just in case an arrow bounces out, we know where it hit. Another thing I wanted to quickly mention is that you will be marking your partner's score sheet. So you will be marking whoever your partner's arrows are landing. So you're not going to be marking yourself. You're going to find a partner, and that partner is going to mark your arrows, and you are going to mark their arrows. If there's any dispute about where an arrow landed, let's say a hole is really close to a line, but you're not 100% sure if that hole is touching that line or not, so you can count it as the next circle. You can always call one of the coaches, me or my partner, and we'll come over and we'll look at the hole, and we'll let you know whether you will count it as either an 8 or a 9, right? Depending on whether this hole is touching this line right here. Sometimes it gets really close and it's very hard to tell. So we're not going to be taking out any magnifying glasses, but we'll do our best to see whether a hole is touching the line, right? I think that's everything, but again, if I did miss anything, I will let you know when I see you next. So until then, take care. So one last thing I quickly wanted to mention is that when you are marking your arrows and you're scoring your arrows, like writing down the score of where your arrows landed, make sure you leave the arrows in until the very end. And the reason why you want to do that is because you want to keep track of which arrows you marked so far. So once you mark an arrow, you can take it out and draw the cross, but make sure you mark it first before you pull the arrow out. so that you know that you marked all of your arrows. You want to make sure that you're pulling your arrow out after you marked it, not before, right? So you want to mark your arrow. You want to write down what mark it got, whether it's a 1 through 10. And then you want to pull it out. You want to draw the cross to indicate that that arrow has been shot over there. And then you want to go to the next arrow, right? And you want to start from the highest arrow first. So you want to mark the highest arrows first, and then you want to go down in chronological order. That's all.